right. Speaking of tech news for you in our opening bells segment, wanted to bring this to light. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman unveiling what he calls the largest infrastructure push of the modern internet era. It's a 17 gigawatt build out expansion in partnership with Oracle, NVIDIA, and SoftBank. OpenAI's $850 billion expansion would require the amount of electricity needed to power more than 13 million U.S. homes. At roughly $50 billion per site, OpenAI's project adds about $850 billion in spending, nearly half of the $2 trillion of the world's AI infrastructure. Sam Altman saying this: people are worried. I totally get that. I think it's a very natural thing. We are growing faster than any business I've ever heard of before. This is what it takes to deliver AI. Unlike previous technological revolutions or previous versions of the internet, there's so much infrastructure that's required, and this is a small sample of it. All right, our panelists join us now. Kent Strang's here, Managing Director at Americans for Prosperity, and Tommy Aiello is here as well, Senior Director of Government Affairs at National Taxpayers Union. Guys, welcome. Thanks for coming on today. Kent, to start us off, it's a lot of numbers to wade through, and I know AI can be a bit challenging as we're all learning together about its capabilities. But what does this investment by Sam Altman really mean?
Well, I, for one, am not worried. AI is the next wheel, the next compass, the next internet, the next revolution that's going to power our world and our country forward. And I think it's great that we're seeing these projects come online. But in order for these projects to happen at the speed in which they need to happen, Congress has to address permitting reform. There are too many stops. There's too much red tape to bring these projects online to deliver the kind of energy we're going to need to power the AI revolution. And so if I'm Congress, I'm looking very particularly at passing permitting reform immediately.
Okay. Tommy, could you maybe dive into what energy really looks like to power AI? Because, maybe you've got ChatGPT on your phone or another AI service. What's going on behind the scenes to actually bring you those answers?
Yeah, it requires so much energy, but it also requires a lot of water as well. That's the other side of the equation that people don't always think of. And as OpenAI and all of these other AI companies are building their plants, they're going to need a lot of power. That's either going to have to come from the grid, the same way we turn on our lights or watch our TV. It's that same stream of power. But on the other hand, they could also have on-site power as well. That can come from small modular reactors, that can come from wind and solar, or they could have their own forms of power as well. So there's two sides about how these AI companies are going to go about it, on-site or the actual grid.
Okay, so we'll see which direction different companies choose to take. Kent, can we speak more broadly about AI, its capabilities, and what that means for us human beings? I mean, when you've got all this technology coming forward at such great speed and great abilities, are we losing our relevancy?
I certainly understand people's concerns and thinking about jobs. But again, I think we have to embrace this and look at this as the new revolution that's coming, because it is. But if we can increase the amount of AI, we can also increase the number of energy jobs and the folks that can support it. But look, we need to embrace it. If we fail to, it would be like us saying that we want to continue buggies and carriages rather than getting in a car. I'll stick with the car.
Yeah, exactly. All right. It's moving ahead, whether we like it or not, right? So we might as well learn all we can about it. Alibaba also getting in on this AI expansion, announcing a partnership with NVIDIA, global data center expansion plans, and new artificial intelligence products, as it positions artificial intelligence as a core business priority alongside its traditional e-commerce operation. Alibaba's shares surging 9.7% to a 4-year high on this announcement. So, Tommy, maybe you've used the site before. If you want a cheaper alternative to some of the items you're shopping for, how are they using AI to generate sales?
I think this is the new model that businesses are moving to, right? We use ChatGPT all the time, whether it's to find a cheaper alternative for flights or to aggregate all of this information in one. And I think you're going to continue to see businesses invest in this technology. And I think the way Wall Street and investors are looking at it, it's the next gold rush. They see that all of this productivity is able to increase shareholder value, increase that experience for consumers. And I think consumers are responding pretty well to all of this. And of course, there's some concerns, as you mentioned too, but what does this actually mean for humans? But at the end of the day, I really do think this is going to be a net positive, not just for communities where these data centers are going to be, but also for consumers and the broader market in general.
All right. Tommy Aiello and Kent Strang walking us through it. Again, as I say, we learn together. Thanks so much for taking the time this morning, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.